On what we're doing and where we're doing it. It's got a map over there. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to him so you can talk about
As Terry said, my name is Dustin Whalen. I'm with HWC Engineering. We've been working, we worked on phase one with Terry in West Terre Haute. Sorry you guys can't see the map. I gave you guys some smaller versions of it. Primarily, the work extends upon what was done in phase one along 7th Street down by Cherry Grove pumping station there. This work consists of adding 30-inch sewers, storm sewers along 7th Street extending up to Edwards, and then 24-inch sewers on Edwards, Ferris, and Ratcliffe going east and west there to kind of catch everything. The object of the purpose of this project is to get everything to the Cherry Grove pumping station to get that water evacuated into town as fast as possible, so you guys don't have as much standing water on the south end. Like I said, everything's going to be 30-inch, 24-inch, 18-inch, and 12, with the main trunk line being the 30-inch and the 24-inch. Every intersection is going to get 4 inlet structures, and then even halfway up on 7th Street, there's more inlet structures. We just want to get that water to that pumping station as fast as possible and help alleviate any of the standing water that lingered this late summer and past the springtime, past one of the long as Terry said, the project is in that $1.287 million range. A significant portion of that is the stormwater, but as Ed mentioned in previous meetings, they're going to allocate some street money to the project. So a big chunk of that, once the sewer goes in, all the roads will get repaved in the project area, so you're not left with a giant mess when everything's done. So, Terry, do you have anything else to add to that?
This grant program, they've allocated $11 million. So if every project comes in requesting the full amount of $1 million, there's 11 projects that get funded across the state. So one of the big things that the community can help, particularly people who do reside in the south end of the town, you can put letters together talking about your problems, about the roads that are impassable, twice a year, always when we have the flood waters, damages to the homes, water in your basements, and other damages to your property would be very helpful. I'm only able to put so many in there, but if I get 30 or 40, I can say we received 40, 50 letters of complaints of water issues down there. So if you can get those together, they don't have to be real lengthy. Just make sure you date them. Put your name on there and address so we can show that you are from West Terre Haute, and turn them into the town or give them to me. And then I can calculate them up and collect them. And I think I can actually put about 7 copies of 7 different letters in the application. But like I said, if I get more than that, I can tell in the narrative that we received, however many. So that is the one big thing that everyone could try to do. Help us try to get $1 million to help do some more stormwater improvements. I'll entertain any questions about the project or grant.
Yes. Where's the line running on 9th Street to Edwards? What are you putting there?
9th Street to Edwards. Here's a 24-inch that runs down the road, and then
You think that's going to handle all the water?
but not all of the water. The project won't.
We have 3-foot water in that house.
Yes, I understand. I came out here with Terry, and we took a look at the water with the town personnel. Essentially, there's not a lot you can do when you have 3-foot water standing around.
Especially when you run the water from both ends of the street down to there.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to go somewhere, and it's naturally heading to that way. We're going to try to get it to that Cherry Grove lift station. The more that Cherry Grove lift station pumps, the faster it gets out of town. That's the goal.
What about 20 Summer?
Where's that?
South, up by the wetlands.
Over
Where you're
to the
taking.
east, over here.
Right in the first block off the National.
Okay. We looked at this portion as far back as when we did this previous study, Terry, 2000. Started in 2000.
Probably 10 years ago. It was
2005. These were the areas identified as the biggest need. Because if there's nowhere for this water to go, moving the water over in this area down this way doesn't do a whole lot of good. It's just flooding more people this way if you keep shifting.
That's how we're getting flooded, because the state cut off a drain running in our backyard.
Yeah, it's a state issue, not a whole lot.
We're looking at, I think he's talking about that little alley area.
Oh, yeah.
That'll have to be something that'll probably, the town might have to entertain.
Well, they're supposed to put a line down through there, is that right, Scott?
That's right.
You know, right now, we're currently doing some collection basins there, right against.
Well, we're not happy with the storm sewer now anyways, because we own a lot of houses in this town, and we pay for every one of them, and there ain't one in front of one of them.
Well, we're trying our best with the limited resources we have, you know, so hopefully we can get this knocked out, and this will, you know, benefit a lot of people, and then as time progresses, I mean, it took, you know, about 10 years for us to have $170,000 to help put towards a match, so it takes time when you start out with zero.
Yeah, I've been to all the meetings.
So, but hopefully over time, smaller areas like that aren't real costly to do, we can put stuff in and see if we can take care of those. But these are the big things that obviously we don't have the funds to do on our own. So, and we have the grant opportunity to try to apply for it. So.
Anybody have any more questions on the second page? No, you need it there?
That's all I need. And close the public hearing.
Need a motion to close the public hearing.
Make that motion.
I second that motion.
All in favor? Anybody have any questions for the council on the stormwater?
I don't know if this, last time you were here, wasn't it talked about the representative or somebody going down there to see about fixing that hole that was punctured or?
Got the going behind there where they.
On the ag levy? The agricultural levy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the county is working on that. I went over and attended a couple of the meetings that they've had, and I know that they were gonna put together, and they've not notified you yet, but they were gonna sit down with the Department of Natural Resources, and the levy association, but nobody's called me. I don't know where they're at on it, to be honest with you.
And that's,
I need a motion then to adjourn the meeting of the stormwater.
second that motion.
All those in favor? Aye. Anybody have any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
Yes, way back when you were talking about the drainage, is that part of your wastewater budget too? I mean, drainage should be included, and reduce the fee on our old ones.
We have to have in an account in case every one of those pumps would fail at one time. And that's this reserve that he's talking about that is now funded.
Well, it sounds like you're doing that, do that back, maybe some, we gotta keep that for sure, right? Then the other thing, some reason Jeff saw was telling me he's not trying to let a bag out of bag, but he thought he was going to take over, in the future. Bob says no, because of the situation with him, when he was fired, but,
That'll be up to the new board. I
Yeah,
can't answer
that's
for
next year.
anything that they'll do.
and then, of course, the final thing is, all these things that I've been told to get one project done for 3 people in my neighborhood, over the year ago, they said this curb that needed to be fixed because we're spreading water down into the meter cap, so you enhanced it with the newer improved, padding and, when we had to put a new valve, and it took like that 3-month project. I realize we just don't have everybody in the world to do things here, but, I've been, pretty much routinely told that this is happening. Roger now, I didn't understand this, I was told Summer Roger is the one that is not really responsible for the highway concerns or for the handicap things too, and, you're just telling us tonight that he's now on the highway department, but Bob been routinely telling me, Roger's the one, responsible for those type of improvements or repairs.
Ted?
Yes.
I had to talk to the city engineer on the handicap spot. The handicap spot is 20 foot long. You don't have enough property area to put 2 handicap spots in front of your house. You only got a 30-foot wide lot.
Yeah.
And
The main goal though was to improve it where we got 3 handicaps using one spot. So, I mean, we're trying to clear it out so we have more room for people to actually use that parking spot. Darla's told me she's definitely put one 2 or 3 months ago, and Nate knows about this, and then Nate also goes to church with Frank Higgins, and was going to try to figure out if he needed one too.
They need to move that later, like if they sure handicap spot.
Well, that is the problem. She's there when that rig is out there, Bob, so you just need to go, and she'll tell you. And she'll move for you. But I've been told by everybody, and there's a little bit of disparagement going on, even though I understand you got a million projects, you know, on your shoulders. It's just that I've been repeatedly told every time you're gonna do it, and it doesn't happen over and over and over.
I can't
It was different if the guys say, well, I know you got a problem, and it's gonna take another few weeks to get to it, but.
I talked to the engineer, and there's no way that you play for it. There's no way. Because they'll be in your neighbor's property, not yours.
Well, out in the street, there's no property, it's public, it's public
You pay
property.
taxes to sit on the street.
Yeah. I'm just trying to say though, Darla wants one to fix the problem on my right side, that will be up in front of that sidewalk. And then the other one, Nate was gonna check it out to see if the other neighbor would like to have one, which is a veteran from Afghanistan.
They will have to bring their permit, probably their permit.
Oh, they already did, about a month or two ago, Roger took that, collected it, and this is what I mean, I keep getting mismanagement from the general counsel to say we're gonna do something, and then it just never happens.
I'll come there tomorrow and ask her, because I told me you're not having it.
Oh, yeah, Darla brought hers out, and I brought mine out, and he took them down, and it's like I say, we're just getting a lot of confusion more than anything solved. I wasn't, but you said the curb needed to be fixed, also there's about 4 foot of that curb missing, and so in the original plan, when Scott talked about this last event, or last meeting, was to paint it up the street, but.
That's what I want to do, but
Yeah.
I gotta move the other car. I'm not gonna move the car.
It's not so much the spot that I have that I'm just concerned about, it's just having to make sure that it stays open so it's accessible, especially in the winter time. It usually gets buried with snow out, so even the police will come down and said, one time, you gotta get that cleared out so they can, use it. I got people 6 days a week coming there, so I gotta keep it open. Well, thanks anyway, I don't mean to scrutinize, but I'm just getting a lot of promises, and I just don't, I'd like to see any hopeful end to that, or conclusion to it. When I'm willing to help in any way I can, volunteer whatever I can do, but I can't do much without trying officiating on it.
I need to clarify some misinformation about the surveys that were given out. I want to thank Shane Smith for finishing those up. But I want to clarify that those were given to Shane because I was presented to them, 24 hours or so before I left out of town, out of state. And it's been brought to my attention that several people have said that I refused to do these surveys. That's not the truth. I was not in town to do them. And there's been a few other things that were given out along those surveys, things that probably are not true about other employees. But if anyone has questions about why the surveys were done, by who they were done by, or what was told to them during the surveys, questions, please come ask me and I'll tell you the truth. Because I've had several people approach me with inaccurate information.
Are our elections gonna be like this last one? From now on, take that long? This time?
There's no fun.
If the new council wants to approve a primary, they'll have that option.
Correct.
But they have to approve it. So bring that up sometime after January 1st. See if they want to have a primary.
I think, Jim, though, that was only because there was only exclusively Democrats running too. If there's an independent or Republican or something, I think that they'd have to.
We would, general like.
Not in the dollar.
The convention would have been the same whether we had opponents or not. But the Democrats, that's the way the Democrats wrote up the conventions to be held. And the town board has an option, and they can make that. But remember now, if they adopt it, you're looking at $20,000 in money. Oh,
That was the rub, Nancy. It has to be turned in by a certain date, the council has to approve it, as well as,
Has to be done before, December 31st of the year prior to the election.
and
And once that ordinance is passed, a resolution, it's good for 10 years.
10 or 12.
Trust me, I checked into it.
You know, Scott, one thing I heard when we was out there, that community nominated, and that they said that maybe we ought to got the library and things, we're gonna use that way instead of the air conditioning.
They go wherever they want to. Yes.
I have a question about that new utility supervisor position. When is that going to be put out as applicants and?
Yeah, it's just two part-time positions, anybody can apply.
Two part-time, it's not one of the items.
no, they were just appointed, so this is not part of that. We just included in our employee manual, so have all the employees informed. I think the two spots left open are two part-time positions, Jim, Greg.
Well, no, I mean, I thought there was going to be a new position, a utility supervisor.
There is.
Did I misunderstand
Yeah,
that?
that's what Bob is. It's basically he supervises both the water and the street. It's so that there's more streamlined communication. It's more down the ladder.
But that's not a new position that's coming up?
No, we combine.
I think they did that a few months ago.
Yeah, we done that.
Okay, I misunderstood that.